Let's do this. In the days of the Old West, cowboys lived by an unspoken code. The code of the West. Never try on another man's hat. Always remove your firearms at the table. Talk less, say more. Always do what has to be done. Some rules were easier to live by than others. For some, one was just downright impossible to abide. Never covet another man's horse.
Last couple days, maybe 4, they all run together. The last few days have been design it and fabricate it day. And I tell you what, I'm really appreciative of my friend Keith. I had to think about his name for a second. I'm horrible with names. I am, and I apologize. But anyhow, I'm really appreciative of Keith and the guys that work for him up there at W Trailer. We took he picked up the sprayer a 3 days ago, and then 3 days ago, and then 2 days ago, I took the Packer Maxx Cultipacker up there to his shop. We stood there for about 3 or 4 hours one day, scratching our heads and looking at it, moving things around and lifting things up and measuring. Oh my gosh. Trying to find, this is hilarious. Couldn't find a tape measure. Then all of a sudden we had two. Yesterday while I was there, I looked down at this little wire feed welder that was sitting right next to where we were standing and working. And there's 2 other tape measures laying on top of it. I tell you, I'm the same way. I couldn't tell you how many caulking guns I've got because I can't find one. And then I just run by Maxx and get another. Remember when those things used to only be about $1.27 a piece? But anyhow, last few days has been design it day and fabricate it day. And I think one of his employees' name's Ignacio or something like that. He did some cutting and tacking and that plasma cutter, oh my gosh. I need one of those. And I could really tear stuff up if I had a plasma cutter. Anyhow, he cut the hind legs off of the 55-gallon PTO, 3-point PTO sprayer. And we set the Packer Maxx Cultipacker up underneath it. Did a little bit of tack welding to hold it in place. And then I used my old muffler shop skills to reshape some flat steel that it's kind of a gusset thing set up on the 3-point of the Packer Maxx, and we got those up in place to where they go up towards the 3-point of the sprayer. And I believe the old boy's name's Austin. He had swung by the shop for something, and he stitched everything up, and boy, let me tell you something, that boy can weld. I asked him, just listening to him weld, I could tell he knew what he was doing. And I asked him, I said, where'd you learn how to weld at? And he said, well, I didn't really, I just kind of picked it up. So he learned how to weld all by himself. But, you know, I can weld light stuff, but when it comes to welding structural, I'm just not any good. I learned how to weld in a muffler shop, you know, so that light duty steel, they say there's a trick to that too, and I don't guess that I ever knew anything different to not burn all the way through it. But that's my biggest problem with all the welders I've ever used, and I've never really used a big heavy duty welder. But with all the welders I've ever used, getting it to burn down deep, you know, that's always been my problem, but not for Austin, buddy. I tell you what, he stacked them dimes up on the side of the Packer Maxx on that gusset bar, and then up again up on the frame of the sprayer. He made it look good. So we've got the trailer on right now. I've stopped here. I got to get some off-road diesel. We're running down to the Rover property, going to pick up the tractor. In the back of the truck, I've got the electric seed broadcaster that's going to go up on the bucket. And I believe we're going to run over to Keith's house and try all this stuff out. Stay tuned. Well, we have gone to Doc's, picked up the seed broadcaster. Now, this is the electric one that we fabricated a receiver on the bucket of the tractor, so this is going to be mounted out front. And then we stopped and got some overpriced off-road fuel. Ran out to the Rover property and disconnected the bush hog, which isn't as easy as one would think. It only cost me a couple nitro. But anyhow, we got the tractor loaded up. You can see it riding back there behind us. And we're going to head back into town. And believe it or not, I'm going to swing by Hirsch. I've got to get some black paint where we did the welding on the roller slash sprayer. Need to do a little bit of touch-up work on that, and that way we don't start rusting. And then we're going to put all of that on the back, put the electric broadcaster up on the front. Have to do a little bit of wiring. I don't have it's got a switch built into the cord. The way that this is designed, it's actually designed to go on the back of an ATV. And it's got a cord on it with a switch about halfway up through it or something like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire, like a 2-wire plug up behind the grill, up in the headlight area, and then run that wire back to the dash of the tractor and put a switch up there, a weatherproof switch, and then that'll all connect to the electrical system on the tractor. That way I can operate the electric spreader from the cab. The cord that's on it may actually be long enough to do all of that. I'm not sure. I haven't even checked it out. We did hook it up to a battery here a while back to make sure that it does still work, and it does work. I just haven't tried to use it in this configuration yet.
By my talk, oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.